Holy Week is beginning. We recall Christ's triumphal entry into Jerusalem, and he rides in on a donkey. And today in Matthew's gospel that we heard, it was on an ass and a colt, two of them. In the other synoptic gospels, there's a donkey. Basically, beasts of burden he chooses because the master has need of them. And the master has need of us too. Since we have been branded by the sacrament of baptism, he owns us. We belong to him. And as St. Paul says in so many words, your life is not your own. Your life is not about you. He has need of it. He has need of us. God doesn't need anything in some sense, though, what we do or have, our praise or our penances. However, it signals the truth that God allows us to cooperate with his grace so that he can allow us to participate with his plan for our lives. God is the first cause, and then we can participate as instruments in his hands, but living instruments nonetheless, so that we can experience some of his joy in his designs of love for the world. So let us consider the gifts that we have been given by God. If we are a smart person, intelligent, maybe a former or current teacher, just a very bright student, it's so that we can use our mind for the glory of God. And giving it back to him, it is then manifold in its blessings, and it expands. It becomes larger than what it would be if we just used it for our own purposes. But for God's purposes, it always expands. And to become a new St. Thomas Aquinas or St. Augustine or Edith Stein, it's not for good SATs or ACTs or to be teacher of the year, but to serve God humbly and intelligently. And if we're good with people, maybe we have a gift with being with people and we connect with a lot of different kinds of people. It's not so that we can have so many friends or, be spoken well of and get the praise of many people. It's so that we can bring sinners back to God and to bring people into his one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, the bride he died for. And maybe we're a courageous soul, where we don't care what's in our way and we will just go forward. Maybe that's some of the stubborn ones among us too, Well, I know who that is, The stubborn ones. But that's fine, because there's an aspect of courage that is used there. And that courage then is used to spread the faith. That is what it's meant for. We will get slings and arrows for that, though. We will. Just watch online any kind of banter that goes on there or anything else in the public arena. Most of us also are bothered by injustices. And why is that? So what does that call us to? To be a new St. Vincent de Paul or Blessed Mother Teresa, that we might truly try to love Jesus in these contexts. And there's plenty of work to do locally. There's a spirit of the martyrs among our youth. There really is. I have sensed it. And they need the environment around them to fan into flame what is being given to them by our Lord. These things are here in us so that we can do the Lord a great service. And it may be embarrassing at times, some of our gifts, or unwanted maybe, because we are called upon to use them. However, once they're discovered, it gives us a great turning point in our life, that we find out who we were meant to be before God, the man or the woman he has called us to become. The greatest moment in our life is when we do realize that the Master has need of us. And today we read the account of the Passion of our Lord as an introduction to Holy Week. We will accompany our Lord now throughout the week. We see our Lord in agony in Gethsemane. And as he is God, he could see in great detail what was coming. He could see the blows and the shoves of the soldiers, the shackles and the chains, the whippings, his crown, the blows of the reed, the mockery and the insults, the blasphemies, the weight of the cross, the nails piercing his hands and feet, the spear breaking his sacred heart. These left scars on his body, but there were also wounds in his soul. Desertion, rejection, abandonment, betrayal of those he loved. They fell asleep with indifference. They ran away with fear, and they hid in cowardice. And one of them sold him out of greed. A priest once had a dream He met the angel who comforted our Lord in his agony. He asked the angel with curiosity, "What did you say to Jesus to console him that night?" And the angel replied, "I talked to him about you." Our Lord, we come before you. We will not fall asleep this week. We will not run. I don't want to run away. We can say that to our Lord. We want to comfort him, staying with him, and staying close to his blessed mother as she takes our hand through this Holy Week. And let us be with our Lord and pray to him and be with him.